everyone, welcome to episode 276, Social Media Detox. Welcome to the Harmony in the Home podcast. I'm your host, Kelly Hutchison. I'm a counselor, a life coach, and most importantly, an imperfect mom doing this work right along with you. And my goal on our podcast is to go from chaos to calm, feel less frazzled, and have more fun within your four walls to have more harmony in your home. Hey everyone. So I want to tell you about something that I have been sharing with so many people, and they're trying it and loving it. And I'm doing it, and I'm not perfect at it, nor do I want to be because I'm shooting for B-, but it has helped so much with my productivity, with my general anxiety, with my angst, with my motivation, with my sense of just zest, so to speak. And that is detoxing from social media. Because there is nothing wrong with social media in moderation. And I don't know about you, but my social media use was not in moderation. I started tracking it and looking at the numbers and thinking, oh my goodness. Now, a lot of it is, I'm doing other things at the same time. Like when I'm listening to, I'll have like TikToks on you can do the auto play at the same time while I'm doing dishes. So it's not like I'm just sitting on my couch all the time. But a lot of times I am. And it's just such a time waster. It's such a time suck. And I felt, someone once said they said, I feel like it just has such a hold on me, and I can't put it down. And I say, I'm going to do 10 more minutes. And then all of a sudden it's an hour later and I'm watching cat videos. And when they said that, I was like, that's exactly how I feel. And I watched I watched a movie on Netflix, which I can't remember the name of it right now. But it's all about how the creators of these different apps and of our phones are the same people who study how slot machine works and gambling, and why people, when they go to gamble just a little bit, they're gone for 8 hours and they were only supposed to be there for 30 minutes. So I realized that we're getting dopamine hits, but it's false dopamine hits and it's artificial. And so the brain says, let's just go back for some more. Let's just zone out on this. And there's nothing wrong with zoning out. It's just if you're doing it in moderation and you're doing it at a level that you're comfortable with. And I know that I wasn't comfortable with the level that I was doing. I was actually embarrassed of it when I looked at my numbers. And then I talked to friends and family and they felt the same way. So I want to tell you something that has really helped to make me more conscious of it. It's not, because I think detox just means you have to just ban it all together. It's kind of like if you're overweight, well, obviously you still have to eat food, so you can't just ban food. And if you're an overdrinker, that's easier. Just, I'm not going to drink anymore, or I'm going to drink once a week. So that's in moderation. So setting up a social media game plan is a great plan. And then having your phone help you stick to it. So you can go into your settings, you can go into screen time, and then you go into an app limits. Now this is on an iPhone. I'm not sure how to do it on an Android, but I'm sure you can Google it. And so you go to app limits and then find your most popular apps that you're using that are the biggest time sucks. That's really what it does. Just sucks so much time out of your life. Go to the top 3 or top 4 or top 5 or how many. I did the top 3. For me, it was TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. And I love connecting with everybody. I love posting funny things. I love all of that. My consumption was more than I was giving. So I like to give as much as I'm receiving, so to speak. So for some reason, I chose the number 22. And I did 22 minutes on each app. Now that sounds so low, and it is very low, I will say. What it does is it sets up, after 22 minutes of you being on it, a pop-up will come on and it will say, you've used your limit for the day. Do you want to extend it? And the first time it pops up, it will give you an option of 1 minute, 15 minutes, or ignore for all of the day. Never choose all for the day. Even if you choose the 15-minute limit, there's nothing wrong with doing that. It just keeps you more conscious about it. Because I promise you, when that 15-minute pop-up comes up in 15 minutes, you will be shocked. And you can say, yes, I have time for, and I wish 1 minute came up more often, because sometimes I'll be in the middle of like watching a funny TikTok and then it'll pop up. I'm like, oh, come on. I just literally need 1 more minute. But it only pops up the first time that I know of. I wish it came up more. I wish it was like 5 more minutes. I wish there was more options than just 1 the first time, 15, or I'll ignore it for the rest of the day. My suggestion is not to choose all for the day, because then you'll get caught back to where you were. So I always choose the 1 minute, and then after the 1 minute, I decide, do I want to do 15 minutes more or do I not? And usually It depends on the time of day. It depends on what I'm doing. Depends on what I've done so far for the day. If it's at the end of the day and I've accomplished all my tasks for the day, then I have no problem extending it for 15 minutes. And sometimes I'll do 2 15 minutes. But the best part about it is that it alerts you when those 15 minutes are up, and then you can make a conscious decision if you want to do more based on, for me, it's time of day, what other people in my family are doing, how much I've gotten done for the day. At the end of the day, not a lot of problems extending it. But during the day, I'm like, okay, I'm doing this because I don't want to empty the dishwasher. I'm doing this because I don't want to write copy for an email. I'm doing this because I'm procrastinating leaving to go to the grocery store. I'm doing this because, and you get the point. I could go on and on and on. So if you're doing it as a way to distract, or I'm doing this a way to distract from my feelings or dealing with my kids right now, whatever you're doing, if you're doing it in that way, then you can be like, okay, I'm going to stop now, but I know that it's always there. And you kind of talk to your brain that way. So I've had friends that have done an hour per app. I've had friends that have done 30 minutes. You can choose whatever you want. However, even if you did 2 hours, even if you did 4, like whatever you do, just be conscious of what you're doing. That's the main goal in all of this. It's not about cutting it out altogether, but it's also about not laying on the couch and doing it all day long. And I feel like in summer, it's a little bit easier because there is so much free time, it's a little bit more easy. It's a lot easier just to kind of let the day, and lazy days are great, but you don't want days and days of bed rotting or, not getting work done at work because you're on social media. So this is just a little suggestion if you want to, and also teach your kids to do it too. Another great thing to do is turn your phone into black and white. You will not believe how unfun your phone is when the colors are black and white. Now, sometimes you'll need it if, a friend says like, what paint samples do you like better? That's happened to me. My friend said, what color paint do you like better for our walls? I was like, oh, they're both black and white. So there's times you can turn it on and turn it off, but it really makes your phone less enticing and more boring, if that makes sense. So it's not so addictive. Those are some tips. Those are some highlights. I also I've suggested this in previous episodes, of making your password for your different apps, logging out of your apps. So it's kind of a pain to log back in, like very long passwords, like onomatopoeia 42814. And you have to look them up and it makes it more cumbersome to log in, so to speak. I also suggest, and this is very hard for me to do, and I used to do it all the time, but not touching your phone for the first hour or 2 of your day. You will get so much more done if you go do the things, get all the unfun things done, like working out. That's for me the hardest thing. Get that done first, and then almost use social media or your phone as a reward. And you can tell your brain, no, we're going to do official dopamine hits, and we're going to get adrenaline, and we're going to get all our juices flowing, so to speak, by working out. And then we're going to get the artificial dopamine. Just as long as you're letting your brain know this is what we're doing, and you're in control of the Raffi instead of the Raffi in control of you. So let me know what you think, and hopefully this will help you, and it will also help you to be more present with your kids and have more harmony in your home. I love you guys. I'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye.
Hey mamas, thanks for listening. If you had any ahas, clicks, or those lightning bolt moments while listening, you have to check out my free parenting bootcamp, where we take all of this to the next level and we try to create even more awakenings for ourselves so that we can connect more with our kids and never yell at them again. You can sign up at www.coachingkelly.com. And if you really want to fill up my love cup, send me an email of what your aha was, what your click was, what was that lightning bolt moment while you were listening. I want nothing more in life than for you to have harmony in your home and to learn how to be an imperfect mom like me, which allows your kids to be imperfect too, each and every day. Thanks for listening.